So in this video, we're going to be talking about one-step equations. And I got some examples here, and let's go ahead and get started on them. So with one-step equations, we're trying to get the variable, which is the letter, isolated or by itself. And at this moment in time, we have a number 6 next to it. In order for us to get rid of it, we need to do the opposite. Okay, well, what is the opposite? When a number is next to a letter, that means that we have multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So if we divide 6 to both sides of the equation, and I usually like to draw this little line here down the equal sign. And I kind of think about it as a seesaw. Whatever I do to one side of the seesaw, I need to do to the other to keep it balanced. So if I divide this side by 6, I also need to divide this side by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, or it cancels out. I drop down the x. X is equal to 30 divided by 6, which is 5. Okay, and I have another example. Let's try another one. I feel like the more examples, the better. So now I have 7x is equal to 49. What this is saying, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see, you can probably do it mentally. But what this is saying is 7 times what number is going to give me 49? Well, we know that 7 times 7 is 49, but I'm going to show you the math behind it. I start off by drawing the line down the equal sign. And when I have a number next to a variable or a letter, it means multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I divide this side by 7. This means that I also need to divide this side by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, or it cancels out. So x is equal to 49 divided by 7, which is 7. Let's go ahead and try a couple more examples. Now this is a different kind of one-step equation. Now what this is saying is 9 plus what number is going to give me 13? Well, we know that 9 plus 4 is 14, but let me go ahead and show you the math behind it. I draw the line down the equal sign. Okay. Now I have a 9 plus x. Okay, well, how do we get rid of the 9? We need to isolate the letter x. Okay, we need to get it by itself. Isolate just means keeping it by itself on this side of the equal sign. So we need to move the 9 to this side of the equal sign, or my line. Okay, the way we do it is by taking whether it's a positive or negative. At the moment, we don't have anything before the 9, but we need to assume it's a positive 9. Okay, so the opposite of a positive 9 is negative 9, or subtract 9. So if I do to one side of the equation, I need to do to the other. So 9 minus 9 is going to give me 0. The x was not affected, so I drop it down. X is equal to 13 minus 9, which is going to give me 4. Let's try another one. Again, this means that 3 plus what number is going to give me 5? Well, we all know it's 2, but let's go ahead and do the math behind it. Draw the line down the middle. What kind of 3 is this? Is it a positive or negative? It's a positive 3, okay? So the opposite of a positive 3 is a negative 3. So 3 minus 3 is going to give me 0. This was not affected, so I bring it down. X is going to equal to 5 minus 3, which is 2. Now, what if we have a fraction? What if we have a fraction in the equation? Okay. What this is saying now is 1/3 times what number is going to give me 8. Now this one's a little bit more harder to do it mentally, so we need to do the math behind it. Okay. So let's start off by drawing the line down the middle, or actually down the equal sign. Okay. In order for us to get rid of the 1/3, we need to multiply it by something, okay? Because this means that 1/3 times x, right? Okay. We're going to multiply it by something called the reciprocal, okay? And it's a big word for something that is really easy. All we're going to do is flip the fraction 1/3. Okay, this is how we flipped it. Okay, so we just put the 3 as the numerator and the 1 as the denominator. Okay, whatever I do to one side of the equation, I need to do to the other. So I'm going to multiply 8 by 1/3. Okay, this cancels, that cancels. Okay, so I bring down the x. X is equal to 8 times 3, which is 24. 8 times 3 is 24, divided by 1, which again is 24. So the answer is 24. Okay, I have one more example here. Once again, let's go ahead and draw our line down the middle. Okay. Now, once again, this is a fraction. We have a fraction in front of the x. We established that if we have a number in front of the x, that is called the coefficient. Okay, it is called the coefficient. So go ahead and take a minute and write that down in your notes. That the number in front of the letter is called the coefficient. Okay, now that you've written that down, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is just the fraction, flipping the fraction. We just flip the fraction. And the only time we multiply by the reciprocal is if we're trying to get rid of the number that's in front of the x. Okay, at this moment, or the fraction in front of the x. Well, we have a fraction here, and it is in front of an x, or a letter. Okay? So we just flip the fraction. 5 will now go as my numerator, and 1 will go as my denominator. If I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Okay, this cancels, that cancels. I drop down the x. X will equal to 6 times 5, which is 30, divided by 1, still 30. Okay, all right, so that's it. Go ahead and write these notes as much as you can. Stop it at any point you feel necessary. Rework the problems. And that's it.